I'm Kevin DaSilva, and today I'm bringing you the 2020 market report for April. In today's episode, we're going to cover who's winning in the housing market, where the best deals are, and why LA is not the rest of the country. So stay tuned. I just want to say thank you for watching this episode. And if you don't get anything else out of this, I just want you to know that we love you and we're here for you. Now let's get into business. Who's winning in the LA real estate market right now? Well, I'll tell you what, with 7 months of inventory right now, buyers are winning. But I'm not gonna leave it at just buyers are winning. That's a very simple answer. Who's really winning inside of being a buyer? Let's talk about that. Prices are down 10% month over month. That's huge. This is typically the time of year where prices start to lift up. In fact, listings are down 28% month over month, which is telling me that fewer buyers are in the market than there are listings. If we didn't have another listing come on, we would sell everything in about 7 months. But the reality is more homes keep coming on the market. So, how are buyers winning? Well, the buyers who are winning the most are entry-level buyers and new home build buyers. Let me explain why. Entry-level buyers had to compete against, for most neighborhoods, had to compete against developers, flippers, cash offers, basically anybody who had the money to build their own dream home, to build a stock home or a model home, to be able to sell to another buyer. Now, these people have softened the valuation of properties in general. And although they're still out there, they've dropped their valuation by 20, 30%, which doesn't work for a lot of sellers. And the good news is, buyers who previously felt a little discouraged about the market because they couldn't afford to buy an entry-level home into a nicer market, those buyers are now able to offer a lower price and still get their offers accepted because sellers still want to close deals. And the market has adjusted 10%. It doesn't mean the sellers are willing to take 30% less just for a cash offer. So, entry-level buyers have succeeded. Now, those developers were building homes a lot of times for the luxury buyer, the new home buyer. Now, the new home buyer has gotten a little soft because their outlook is like this. They see they have the cash, they're able to purchase, they have great credit, they have great financing options. They would qualify for a property regardless of what kind of market we're in. As long as they feel secure in their job, they're in a great position right now. Now, that buyer also has the luxury of many homes coming up on the market and not a lot of competition. Lenders have changed their guidelines. So the other winner is the luxury buyer looking for the new home. New homes are sitting and developers have really high carrying costs right now. So in today's market, right now, if you're looking for an entry-level home or a brand new home, the possibilities are endless. That home that you previously didn't think you could afford, that neighborhood you didn't think you could afford, start looking, start dreaming again. If you're secure in your job and everything's going well for you, and this is just a minor blimp, take it, start looking, because I'm not sure prices are going to come down a lot more. The spook has already taken place. And for the new home builder, or the new home buyer, new home builders have really high carrying costs. A lot of times their construction loans have 6, 7, 10% interest rates. They're paying $100,000 just to be able to hold the loan. They would love to get rid of it instead of sitting there on that property. So I'm going to share with you the best deals in the market right now, but those buyers who are winning are taking advantage of 2 of the better deals in the market. And those are everywhere. Let's talk. If you have any other questions about that, which areas have the most new home builds, which areas have the most entry-level homes that aren't selling. Now let's talk about the best deal in today's market. I already told you about the new home build. Luxury builds are one of the best buys in today's market, if you can afford it. Not everybody can. But there's another one that a lot of people aren't looking at. As multifamily units. Something about 40% of all renters did not pay their April rent. 40%. That is insane. And a lot of them live in apartments where there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different units on the property. Now, anything over 5%, you're in a commercial loan. This unfortunately can set you back because commercial lenders have gotten hit really hard, so they're adjusting their guidelines. But as long as you fall within the residential space, your guidelines, although adjusted, aren't unreasonable. That said, if you're sitting on a property that isn't performing as well, you might want to look at lining up another property, and although it's not performing as well, when you get out of this, it can take you even further. Case in point, 4-unit building that has 2 tenants not paying rent. The seller might need to pay their mortgage. They know that this forbearance, if they have one, will result in them having to pay that money back later. And are they going to go after the tenant who may not have that money to pay them back? Who knows? But if they're interested in selling their property, you might be able to strike a really good deal with them. Now, even better, you might have a property yourself that you need to sell. Yes, you're probably going to take a greater than 10% discount on yours, and they're going to get a greater than 10% discount on theirs. So obviously the two adjustments are going to offset themselves, but there's a possibility here for you to trade up. Or if you haven't added income properties to your portfolio, right now, investors are spooked. They're not too excited about this situation. These are the best deals in today's market. I'm seeing inventory build up and not a lot of buyers lining up around the corner for these days. So if you're curious about which areas have the most inventory of multifamily properties at a reasonable rate, call me. Let's get in touch about this. What's actually going on in Los Angeles from an American perspective? Let's analyze this. In LA, we've seen a 10% price decrease on average, which means that $1 million property can now be worth about $900,000. $100,000 is more than most people make in this country. Why in Los Angeles have we seen this when other parts of the country are not seeing this slowdown the way that we are? They're not seeing the prices adjust the way that we are. Well, for one, we have more extreme lockdown measures than a lot of other places in the country. Obviously, New York has some of the most strict ones, but California has taken a very proactive stance on combating the COVID pandemic so that we can get out of this sooner. And the reality is that's the truth. Germany took a very proactive stance on this, and they're already getting ready to open their economy back up. But that's a whole different story for a whole different topic. 10% lower home prices on average in Los Angeles when the rest of the country is not seeing this. Well, LA is the greatest place ever, but this COVID, the lockdown, and the job loss, it's real. And part of the reason why we're seeing a 10% decrease is because there's 2 times as many homes sitting on the market. 2 times. There are 2 times as many homes sitting on the market. There were almost 3.5 months of inventory when we came into this. There are now 7 months of inventory. That's right, 7 months of inventory. So that is telling me that there are that many fewer buyers because there are 28% fewer listings on the market. So if there's fewer listings and more homes sitting, that is telling me that the amount of people buying is fewer than the fewer listings on the market. So that said, what do we make from this? Well, for one, 10% drop from February prices to March prices is huge. Are we going to drop more again? I'm actually going to report that number in a couple weeks because that will be published through my research once April ends. And well, look at that. We only have 1 more week. So I'll put that together for you. But, part of the reason why there are that many fewer buyers is, for one, developers have backed out of the game. They've adjusted their price by more than 10%. And so unless a buyer or a seller really wants to take a 20-30% discount, odds are they're not going to go with that. So they've been left to sell to entry-level buyers, which there are a lot of them, but a number of them are worried about their profession right now. They're worried about their job security. They're worried about a lot of things. So in today's market, we're seeing buyers pull back from buying, and the ones who are left in have stricter lending guidelines that they have to adhere to. So part of the reason for that is that lenders are spooked. Lenders are investors. They're a lot of times contributing to 80% of your home value. You're putting down 20%, they're putting down the other 80. They want to make sure that when they put their money down, that they're giving it to somebody who's going to pay them, somebody who's secure in their job, and that there's more of a cushion in case the worst happens and they have to sell it quickly. See, they have to look out after their bottom line as well, which means that they're not anticipating giving much money the way that they were about 6 months ago. I mean, getting a loan is pretty easy. You can get loans with 650 credit score. You know, if you wanted to do 5% down on a jumbo, you could do no PMI, which is mortgage insurance. We'll talk about that another time. But you know, there are just all kinds of lending things going on that aren't going on today. So although we're seeing fewer homes on the market, more homes are, twice as many homes are sitting on the market than there were before, which means that buyers have really pulled back. My opinion on this is that the next couple months will probably be the best time to purchase. But the next 40 days, the next month and a half, is going to determine what the next 2 years look like in both the economic landscape and the real estate landscape. So I just want you to know that we have your back from start to finish. And the reality is while home values have adjusted, this means that people who previously couldn't afford the neighborhood they wanted can now afford that neighborhood. And people who previously thought that home values were too high, they're secure in their position, they can buy a home, well, now's your opportunity to buy that home at a lower payment because interest rates are still very low. That said, as people start to get back to work, there are businesses that aren't producing right now that would produce if they could have their employees in. And one aspect there is, as soon as they're allowed back, those employees are going to be hired right away. Right now they may be furloughed, right now they may be working from home, right now they may be on unemployment. But as soon as they get the opportunity to go back to work, those companies will get their employees right back to work. So now you'll start to see the unemployment rate start to go down. We can't expect for the unemployment rate, this year to be around 15%. We'll see. I mean, every week the unemployment rate keeps going up. But as this passes, people start to come back to work and we make our way out of this, there will be more competition. We haven't hit the bottom yet. It's as people start to go back to work that will create the bottom, because as they get back to work and the lower prices, they'll start buying homes. They'll be employed. Lenders will start to lend to them again. So we'll start to bottom out and then head back up. If you're thinking about buying a home, right now might be your opportunity to get into your dream neighborhood with your dream home. Call us, reach out to us. We're here for you in any way, shape, or form. If you're looking about selling a home, we don't want you to take a 10% price cut, but if you're looking at buying one, let's go for 12.